Order number 5, 43 cards, 30 business days total. Got stuck in research and ID for about 3 weeks. We're hitting you with the double. We got the black and white, as we like to represent like that. Little love for everybody. Order number 5. A little bit smaller order here. I was trying to make sure I had all of these orders done by January 31st so I could hit their deadline. Hello, ma'am, sir. And hello, ma'am, Hertz. We're calling a 10 on this. Hello, ma'am, sir. If you know, you know. As I said in the last video, I always got a rep for the in-laws, so we had to double up. Watson, unparalleled to 99. These are the diamond variety out of 2022 Chronicles. You might see some slight surface nicking here. It's somewhat commonplace in paper cards. Occasionally, you'll see a little something here. It doesn't really detract from the overall, the sex appeal of the card. Call a 10 on that one as well. Karl Loftus. It's actually a square variety, number 210. Pulled this myself. Out of all the guys you could have pulled an unparalleled to get a to 10 from, this was probably the one you didn't want to see. We'll call a 10 on this number to 10, and that's no knock on his ability as a player. It's just, as you know, the market just isn't too heavy on defensive players. With that in mind, let's grade some linemen. Fashanu Auto, look for him in the draft, early in the draft, first half of the first round from what I've seen at this point. Guard from Penn State. It's a green. Those are numbered to 99, of course. Little print line right there. Not sure if you're going to be able to pick it up. Kind of like, there it is. Yeah, right where his sock is at. I want to call 10 on this one so bad because it's super clean. Oh, God, do I have the balls to call a 10 on this one? Putting it on the line, I'm going to go ahead and call a 10 on that one. I say they let me slide with that faint print line. Stewart, Orange Shimmer. These are numbered to 25. He's going to be a sophomore this year, transferred to Oregon. He's got this McMillan here. It's a mini diamond to 199. Call a 10 on this one. Pretty clean as well. Will Howard, Ohio State quarterback, transferred from K-State. A little bit of stuff down here at the bottom, so we'll call that one a 9. Like I was saying in the previous video, even if I think this stuff will be a 9, when I'm submitting it, it isn't so far out of the realm of possibility that it could 10, depending on the grader and whether or not he got, last night. That's always the joke, right? The Fashanu Gold to 75. A slight little dimple. I'm trying to get it in the light, but it's not really lighting up. It's right here in that area. Because of that, call a 9 on it. I'm trying to pick guys that are going to be drafted coming up in April, or guys that I expect to have hype next season. This Derp and his derpy father, I guess they've been doing work in the transfer portal. Slight print line right there underneath the first Bowman. We'll call a 9 on it. Again, it could 10 though. I've got nothing but bad things to say about Coach Doofus and his team. Absolutely inept as a coach. What do you do when you have a situation like that? Kind of like how it is with Dave Roberts and the Dodgers. When you realize that a guy's a bum and keeps failing over and over again, you just keep buying more and more players to mask the ineptitude of the coach. My opinion. That's my take. Fight me. Caleb Williams, clean, just a base first. Call that one a 10. Something was funny, this interview, they were talking to Coach Eight Toes, and he was talking about how, and of course he played because he tries to act like he doesn't play it, but he plays it when he needs to play it. So you can tell if you listen to people talk what they're really about. He was trying to say that because he's a bit more tan than myself, Stroud, non-first, call 10 on that one, that it's harder for him. And I'm over here just cracking up because of the way the media fawned over the guy after that 3-0 start. The amount of hype that guy got, you see some print lining there on Stroud. I figured this one would 9, but I wanted to have a little bit more Stroud action because I don't have anything of his graded right now. And I didn't have anything high end of Stroud to send in. Like SCV bought it all. If you see his videos, the amount of hype, I can't say I've ever seen someone who's done so little get so much hype. But he's over here talking about, being oppressed. I'm like, guy, you're making like $10 million a year. And they gave you a pass, and they hype you up just because of, Bo Jackson. We got 3 of these, going 10 on all of these. Wouldn't submit these if I didn't think they had a chance to 10. Usually I like to keep it to 2, so going with a third one might be dangerous. That grader might just decide to kick me in the nuts on one of these just because he's like, that bum doesn't need a third 10. So in life, I always find it interesting, since we're having a little fireside chat, that people who have some of the greatest privilege still try to manifest issues and act as if they're the oppressed. It just amazes me how people are able to conjure up that oppression when they live a life of privilege that 99.9% of us will never live. Amazing how you could be in a bubble like that. Hopefully I never lose touch with reality like that. Jokic, got 2 of these. They're pretty clean. As I've said in past videos, if you haven't seen those, centering top to bottom is always an issue. So I look for ones that have clean surfaces and are solid side to side. So at least I can get a 9 on these. I don't expect these to 10. My only hope is that they don't punish me on those. Try to give me a bunch of 8s. Ohtani, rookie debut, chrome, call it 10 on this one. And these Ohtanis, you're going to see, you've seen these before if you've seen the previous 4 videos, and you'll probably see them again in the next video. At least some of them anyway. Very faint little hair-ish print lines there. One there. There's one somewhere right in there. So that one a little bit less likely. You gotta have some allowance. Come on, man. Have some allowance. Don't make me play my own card, because I'll do it if I need to do it to get a 10. Call 10s on both of those. See Ohtani, rookie from the complete set. 2 of these. Call 10s on both of these. When you are submitting cards, I've talked about this before, SCV talks about this all the time, is adding value to cards. When you're grading, obviously you're looking to take a $5 card and turn it into a $75 card, something along those lines. Usually, I would say you want to have 1 card within the order, or maybe 2, where the value added would cover your grading fees, and then everything else is just gravy. Obviously, you have to discount what you paid for everything, fees, yada, 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 which is difficult to do in these orders. Other than the first order, that isn't the case for me. So what I need here, as a lot of these Ohtanis, we'll call 10 on the previous one, 10 on this one, is I'm needing a lot of these Ohtanis to 10. That value added cover the grading costs. So for instance, if I'm submitting 10 Ohtanis, I'm calling 10s on all of them, I need a majority of them to hit to go ahead and cover the order. And the other things would then be profit if you are looking to sell. Masterpiece, Ohtani from gallery, call it 10 on that previous gallery card. See a slight little bit of whitening up there. Then I saw a little bit in the corner there. So we'll see if there's a little bit of a leeway. They might go 9 on that one. Actually, I just noticed a little bit of whitening on that corner as well. So I'm going to call a 9 on that one. I like the card though. More Ohtani. It just won't stop. Please stop with the Ohtanis already. Looks clean to me. Call it 10 on this one. This card here, I really like. It's an 83 throwback from Topps Chrome. Well centered. I referenced this card in a previous video when I was showing another one of these I had. Better centered than the one I submitted in a previous order. This one has some little bit of scuffing here. Occasionally you'll see little nicks along the border, little marks here and there. So I'm going to call a 9 on this one. Hit it with the microfiber, but those didn't buff out. 2 more of these boring Ohtanis. Just Ohtani and the grader to death here. Super clean. As I said before, I had a huge stack of these, so I was able to go through that stack and just pick out a couple for each order. You see what I'm doing here. Try not to beat the grader over the head with too many of the same card. Obviously, they are professionals at doing what they do, but still. Try to save them a little boredom. Instead of one order, sending in 15 of the same card. The Soto paper update rookie, probably not worth sending at this time. 10, gotta have it on these, a 9, and you busted because it's paper. But you're hoping he does a little something since he's with the Yankees now. Ellie De La Cruz, base chrome, clean on that one. A 9 does you no good, so we're gonna call it 10 on that one. Actually, a 9 might not be too bad if he gets off to a hot start. And I say that because this Caminero should be a 9. I saw a couple print lines, maybe a slight little scratch down there. This one's the Lunar Glow. Ooh, look at the Lunar Glow. Calling a 9 on this one. I wish that card were a bit cleaner, but it's not, and I don't have much Caminero. Nothing of significant value to send in, so I had to stretch a little bit, send that one in. Volpe Refractor looks good. Did see a little bit of action there along the top border. As you can see there, action. We don't need action, a little bit of a print line right there, but it stops. It doesn't go all the way down the card, which is a good thing. They'll probably still ding me and give me a 9 though, so I will call a 9 on that one as well. It's Volpe X-Fractor. This one looks better. There is a slight little print line somewhere down there by his cheek. We'll go ahead and predict a 10 on that one. Chrome Update Soto. Faint print line. Still hoping for a 10 on that one, of course. And who doesn't say they're hoping for a 10 every time? If they 9 it, though, I could understand because of that print line. Not awful. Not visible to the naked eye, as you see there. A couple Ellie Mojos coming up here. These are super clean. As I've said in previous videos, you would have loved to have had these back when you got the call up last year. I wasn't grading last year, so I got caught with my pants down on that. Because as you've seen in the videos, so far, I have a bunch of these. If you saw the previous video, you see this line running down it. That's not a print line. That's just something in the design, but as you saw with the previous card, that one didn't have that. So that is something that I might advise not sending. Maybe that's something you just sell raw and then make sure to take photos at that angle, let people know that it is what it is. But again, not a print line. Definitely want to inform the buyer of that, because if it were a situation where every card had it, then you'd feel comfortable sending it in. James Wood, this one won't 10. Print lines are pretty heavy going down it. A lesser man would take the turtle wax to it. And the final card, which you may have saw on top of the stack a little bit earlier, which I didn't even input somehow. I'll have to go change the order real quick. Debut Soto, clean, should be a 10. I'm predicting a 10 on this one. If it looks like a 9, you probably don't want to send the paper version of that card in. A Chrome, you could get away with it just because he's a Yankee now and you probably see some kind of bump in the run-up to the season. This is now a 37 card order. I predicted 23 10s, the rest 9s, hopefully. Incognito me breaking in. Since PSA extended the deadline from January 31st to February 1st, in order to submit cards under their $15 special, I went ahead, had a little bit of time, decided to add some more cards tonight. What's that? Must have been a massive paper cut from sorting through all these cards. Decided to add 6 more cards to the order. 6 cards probably that I shouldn't be adding to go along with another 200 cards that I probably never should have submitted, which you will see part by part once they come back. Ignacio Alvarez, blue foil auto. This is paper, numbered to 150. 10 on that one. In the past, I've been really complimentary of these pro debut cards, saying they're pretty easy to gem based on the surface. I got one in just last night, so the timing is great. Look at that fat crease right down the middle of the card, all the way down, baby. Second card, Jalen Williams, Revolution rookie. Like the player, the team, don't like whatever that thing is. Don't like whatever that thing is that's hanging down off of his hair. Look at that thing there. I've got the light shining on it. What is that? What is that right there? Awful. What happened up there? Going 10 on this one. Thought this one was pretty clean. He's on my fantasy team, as I've said in the past, if you've seen any of those type videos, but he's been injured this week, so he's costing me big time. Addison Barger. Slight little print nonsense going on right there. This that you see across here, that isn't anything print related as far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess I'll find out when the grade comes back. This is out of Optic. It's a Lime Auto, 1990 throwback. Addison Barger. Went with a 10 on that one. Fuchsia Mini Diamond, Auto Phil Maffa, out of 2023. Bowman Chrome U. Little print line action there. Oh, typical. Another print line there and there. Went ahead and called a 9. Usually when I see several print lines, then I knock my prediction down to a 9. Like this Keegan here, 2022 Draft Chrome. You can see the print lines running all the way down. So obviously I called a 9 on this one as well. Greens, of course, numbered to 99 in that set. And the last add-in, Malachi Moore, 2022 Bowman Chrome U. Little print line action on him as well. There you go. Called a 9 on this one as well. He's a senior. This is a yellow to 75. He'll be in the draft this year. He's projected as a day 3 guy, round 5, 6-ish, somewhere in that range. So we'll see. That's really just a spec play. Auto looked clean enough to at least get a 9, so wanted to go ahead and get that one out the door. So that changes our numbers. 26 10s I'm calling out of the 43 cards. And again, out of the 26 I'm predicting, we'll see how many I get correct.